My in-laws have a hot tub, and it's basically got a bunch of nasty, stagnant water that has not been taken care of for months, and there's a bunch of tadpoles and stuff living in there. So I'm excited I might get to see frogs today. Frogs are adorable. Hello, my name is Jessica. Welcome to my channel. I post beauty and art related content with a little tinge of anti-consumerism. If you're into that sort of thing, I would love to have you here. You could also follow me on Instagram at JustYourAverage_Jess. I would love to have you there as well. First and foremost, I want to shout out Audra at home and my dear friend Emily Lakin for inspiring me to start my videos with a little fun fact about myself. Today's fun fact is that I got my ears pierced when I was 13 at Claire's. Everything was chill. It was fine. Other than they pierced my ears cattywampus, but like, whatever. No big deal. The real story is when my ears were healing up, they got a little, like, infected or overgrown. Seemed like my skin was kind of growing onto the back of one of the earrings, and I needed to cleanse them and disinfect them or whatever. And I was having so much trouble, I asked my mom to help me yank the earring out of my ear. And it was so excruciatingly painful that when she pulled the earring out, I fainted in my bathroom where I kept my pet hamster. My head hit the cage, and all of the all the apparatuses on the cage popped off and my hamster escaped. Luckily, I found him. But I just wanted to share that with you today. Love it. In today's video, I am going to be going through how I did my wedding makeup. All of my wedding makeup was fairly budget friendly. It was easy to do, and I did it myself. So I thought if any of you are like me and you want to do your own wedding makeup, then I'd give you some pointers. So on my wedding day, about 2 years ago, I looked like myself. Anyway, so I didn't use primer back then. I still only use primer from time to time. But I prepped my skin by moisturizing it, which I've already done. And then I went in with a combination of my IT Cosmetics CC cream in Fair and a little bit of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation or whatever it's called. I'm not entirely sure because I got a sample and it doesn't say, but the shade I ended up getting is the shade beige. Pro tip: if you go in to like a Macy's or some sort of big box department store where they have an Estee Lauder kiosk, they will match your skin tone to their foundation range, and they will give you a little sample like this, which is enough to use to practice your makeup and use on your wedding day if you don't feel like buying an entire foundation, which was kind of my jam. I also probably wouldn't have picked Estee Lauder now because I don't believe they're cruelty-free, but let's ignore that loud notification. My husband leaves every single notification on his phone. So it just dings and dings and dings and dings and dings incessantly. It drives me crazy. All right. Hopefully that took care of it. Anyway, I took my IT Cosmetics CC cream in the shade Fair, I believe. Let me double check. Look at how old this thing is, by the way. The packaging is like completely falling off. It's probably expired, but like, oh well. I'm using it. Anyway, yes, it is in the shade Fair. Wow, there's a full pump of that with a little bit of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. I'm going to mix that up on my fingers. And just go right on in. No, it looks like I need a little bit more of the Estee Lauder one. It's a little bit deeper. I also have a tan right now from being out in the sun the last month or so. I found this foundation combo to wear really nicely throughout the day. I had my wedding outdoors. Fortunately, the temperature was really, really nice. It was probably like mid 80s, so it wasn't so hot that I was like sweating like crazy, but it did still hold up very well. Then I went in with my Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealer in the shade Light Ivory and put this under the eyeballs a little bit and just kind of spot concealed anything I thought needed it. I get red on the edges of, or the sides of my nose a lot. I remember that being an issue. Okay. I have always been a fan of skin looking medium coverage foundation, and I just like it to feel very comfortable so I don't feel like I'm wearing too much makeup. So I really didn't mind that the pinkness in my skin was shining through, because that's part of like my aesthetic. That's what I look like all the time. So I just let myself be fairly natural and didn't worry too much about that kind of thing. And it felt really nice to like not be thinking about how I was looking. I really just wanted to feel like myself, but amplified. Okay. Then I went in with my Urban Decay Potion Primer on my lids. This thing is also ancient. I've had it since high school. I have oily eyelids, so it's very important for me in particular that I always use an eyeshadow primer so that my eyeshadow doesn't move throughout the day, because I also have very creased lids that will move the shadow around. Okay, and I tried to put it on the top and kind of around the edges on the bottom and the sides, because my eyes are very watery and eyeshadow will tend to lift up on the sides of my eyes. So putting a little extra primer there helps it stay in place. For my face, I went in with my BH Cosmetics Floral Blush in the shade Caribbean Coral. And just like lightly dusted it on there. I know you need to put a decent amount of makeup so that it shows up in photos. But I knew that I would get a little bit red and pink being outside all day, and I figured my cheeks would probably look fairly pink regardless of whatever I did to them. So I didn't worry about that too much. So I kind of put it on the apples of the cheeks to look very like fresh faced, and then just kind of run it up towards the temple. That's how I like to apply my blush. I also went in with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I did not contour yet, so I didn't do that. But I also like that just using bronzers help me kind of look fresh-faced, which I like in a look. But I used a decent amount. Built it up. I do not put bronzer on my forehead like so many people like to do. I don't have that much space on my forehead, which is nice, I guess. I don't know. I don't have any issues with the shape of my forehead. I like it. But I just ran it where there's a little indent in your cheek. Wow. I should teach anatomy. The cheek indent. Anyway. I just did that. Put it on there. Tried to like give my face a little bit more definition. And then I ran it along my jaw and under my chin. Again, to try and make that area look darker. Just to kind of disguise the little double chin I got going on. Okay. I also always put my lip balm on before I start this whole process so that it's like moisturizing the lips the entire time. So that way when it comes down to lipstick time, the lips are ready to go. Then I put my Flexitarian ColourPop Super Shock highlighter on the high points of my face. And I always do this with a finger. I remember getting this highlighter because Jay Kissa recommended it, and it has been so good to me. I love it. I like that you can kind of amp it up or apply it lightly and tone it down. But I wanted it to be amped up enough that you could see it in photos, so that's what I went for. And then I put a little bit of this on my brow bone. Just a teensy bit. This this highlighter, excuse me, it can really move around if you put it on the eyes. So I would not use this on the lids, especially if they're oily. Just like in general, I don't think this works well for on the lids, but I did put a teensy bit on the brow bone. And I always love to highlight my Cupid's bow too. But back then, that was all I was doing. Now I put highlighter on my nose and my chin and like my forehead. Like all the high points of my face for real. But back then I only did that. Okay. Now it's time for the eyeballs. The fun part. To do my wedding eyeshadow look, I used my BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. One of my faves of all time. I love it. And I did a very neutral, coppery, goldy, smoky eye with those super shimmery baked shadows. Now, I'm gonna let you in on a little mistake that I made. I was not very adept at doing my makeup yet. Like, I was comfortable with it, but I hadn't really learned my face shape well enough to know what kind of style of eyeshadow that I liked. And I did like this like weird little halo eye thing, which made my eyes look way tinier and very closed. And I also did not bring the shadows up high enough on my lid to make them show up enough in pictures. So I'm gonna do the look very similar to what I did on my wedding day, but better. So that's the tutorial you're getting. All right, to start out, I went in with the matte shade of Aquarius, this light neutral brown, and ran that in my crease. And then I went in with the deep brown shade for Pisces. that matte brown, and I put that along my outer V, slightly into the crease, and along my lower lash line. I'm going to do my lower lash line later, so I don't know I mentioned that right now. Using my good old faithful paintbrush. I think I mentioned this in another video, but like, I love this brush. It's so great. Alrighty, at this point, I went in with the shimmer shades. I took this gold Pisces, this champagne-y gold Pisces shade on the outer portion of my lid. Alright, then on the inner portion of the eye, I went in with an even lighter champagne color for Taurus. Okay, now I'm going to blend that edge between the dark matte brown and the shimmer. If I can find my brush. Now I'm going to blend the crease one more time with the light matte brown in the Aquarius shade. And then to make those shimmers pop one more time, I'm just gonna put more on. Alright, now for the lower lash line, I went in with my NYX Slide On Glide On eye pencil. I'm trying to remember if this is waterproof. What does it say? Yes, it is waterproof. That's why I chose it. I wanted to make sure that I'd be ready for teary eyes, so put that in my waterline. And I actually kind of ran it like into that outer portion of my eye where I say I get really watery. I just kind of dab it on just to give my eye look some waterproof protection. And I also ran this along the lash line, not just the waterline. I don't think I tight lined back then either, so I don't think I did that. Okay. Then, like I said earlier, I went in with the dark matte brown from Pisces on my lower lash line. Then to blend out that edge, I lightly went in with that same light matte tan color for Aquarius. Alright, that's truly it. It was that simple for the eye look. Then, because I didn't want to wear falsies, I curled my lashes and put on a waterproof mascara. I used, pardon the off-screen shenanigans, I used the L'Oreal Paris, whatever the heck it's called, in the pink, is it a pink tube? I don't remember. Anyway. It is what it is. You probably know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I used the waterproof version of that mascara because I heard good things about it. I also would not repurchase that, and I don't really love it. But I'm going to use my regular, non-waterproof mascara for ever and for today. Because it's just what I like. Then I put like the teensiest little bit of mascara on my lower lashes. Again, the goal with that was to just try and keep things ready for tears. Alrighty. I'm going to do my other eye off camera, and then I'll show you the lips and we'll be done. Here we are with the eyes done. Another pro tip I wanted to share with you. If you have bushy, thick brows like me and you don't generally fill them in much or like do anything to them, just make sure that you run a wet washcloth through them after you've applied your makeup, so that way you don't have like a bunch of foundation sticking in there for your wedding photos. Okay, at this point, all I have left is my lips and like a setting spray, and my lipstick fell on the ground. So I should have picked that up before I started filming again. But anywho, I used a matte Luxe lipstick from ColourPop in the shade Name Drop. It is a very classic wedding light pink color. So there you go. Okie dokes. To help make the lipstick last throughout the day, I blotted my lips with a tissue that I don't have in front of me. So you can do that if you choose. I'm not going to do it because I don't have a tissue. Anyway, I just like blot it all around to get any excess and just press the pigment into my lips and seal it for the day. I'm always like super self-conscious about my lip line. Better? Worse? The same? The same. Anyway, there's that. And I think that's truly everything. Am I missing any steps? My eyes are done. My face is done. My lips are done. The only thing that I don't need to show on camera is that I used a setting spray. I used the Milani one, I believe. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I'll link it in the description box. Anywho, that's it, you guys. This is the final look. I hope that you found this makeup application somewhat helpful for you if you are working on your bridal makeup. My advice would be to practice a few different kinds of looks and then decide on the one you want and practice that a few times. And otherwise, just do your makeup in a way that makes you feel comfortable. You just want to feel like you. Be present in the moment. Don't worry about what's going on your face. You're going to be beautiful. Your happiness will shine out, and that's what's going to matter. So, thanks for hanging out. Let me know if you want more videos like this. I'm not sure what that would entail. But, you know, I could make more bridal looks. I wouldn't hate it. It was really nice to do something that just feels like really pretty. I feel really pretty in this. And that's it. Have a fantastic day. Wherever you are, please take good care of yourselves and others, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye! Oh, I just drank a ton of water to try and get the frogs out of my throat. Ooh, I wonder if there's frogs in your hot tub yet, babe. My in-laws have a hot tub. I'm recording. Hun. Can you hear what I'm saying? Oh god, I don't like it. Can you put your earbud in? I feel self-conscious. Just scratch my face super hard. Nicely done. I feel like now you're like, okay, I'm just gonna turn the volume off so I can hear how dumb you sound. Not that I sound dumb. I sound smart. Chugging all that water. Makes me have to burp.